journey.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here with you for sure. So, about my journey, actually, my original dream was to become a helicopter pilot for the Peruvian Navy. My dad was a helicopter pilot for the Peruvian Air Force. So, at some point, I was studying in academy for that exam. And then life had other plans. Two of my older cousins studied international business and their stories sparked like my curiosity in global trade. And then I started exploring what could I study, and I went for international business in Peru. I explored logistics, and to be honest, I was captivated for that, for the complexity, for the challenges. I've been happy that I took that decision early in my life. I realized that leading in supply chain it's not only like managing operations, it's like connecting with cultures, building resilient teams, and driving transformation across borders. So I really like that it's complex and something that I'm never feel bored, to be honest. Every day is a new challenge. And that's my journey. Actually, maybe in another life I was a pilot, and
Yes.
in this life, currently I'm the logistics director.
But touch wood, I think that what you're doing right now also does require a lot of courage, a lot of thinking, and a lot of presence of mind, which is some almost closer to the traits that a pilot does need as well. So, congratulations on your choices. I'm definitely sure that you were a pilot in another life, but for this life, you're doing great with the role you're playing right now. And I feel that you have grown from your early roles in import and foreign trade in Peru to now leading logistics for Payless across 22 countries. So please tell us, what has that growth journey taught you about resilience and adaptability?
For sure, it's been an interesting and transformative journey. As you mentioned, I started working at Peru. First, it was in a company that did export of fish meal to Asia. And then I moved to a steel company doing imports from Europe, Asia, and other countries. And then I was caught in the retail industry in my current job at Payless. That soon I will have 10 years working here. So yes, my journey started in Peru, and to be totally honest, I never imagined living abroad in other countries. But life changes. I moved to Panama in 2018. I lived there 5 years because in Panama there is a free trade zone. They say that Panama is the logistic hub in Latin. So I lived there 5 years. I was in charge of the distribution center. And then again, life changed, and I moved to Austin, Texas 2 years ago. And I say that working in supply chain like give me broader responsibilities. I learned about the concept of resilience. That is not just pushing through challenges. If there is staying curious, listen deeply, and adapting your leadership style to different countries and market dynamics that is different in each region. And leading 22 countries has taught me that we need to embrace complexity. I need to build trust across all borders and, of course, remain agile. And I guess balancing structure and flexibility is the key to handle all these operations. So always being able to listen to others, to listen to other opinions, and to have open mind to embrace different cultures than mine. Even though Latin is, let's say, a huge, big region, I can bet you that it's different how you handle South America, Central America, Caribbean, and even USA. But it's an interest journey, and I love it.
Wow. And I think the most important part of it is the fact that you really enjoy what you're doing and you're loving it. And I can say that you definitely are taking up the different ideas that are being pitched to you very sportingly because of the way you are being functioning. And I feel that you have worked so extensively with customs, compliance, and government agencies that it is definitely a hassle and requires a lot of mindfulness. So, how do you balance the regulatory challenges with efficiency?
Look, of course, handling 22 countries means navigating constant variability. You have different customs regulations. You have different infrastructures. You have different ways of working. But I guess to address this, I focus on building strong local partnerships. In each country, we have 3PLs that handle each operation. So you need to have close relationship with them and to build a culture of accountability. I really rely heavily on data, cross-functional alignment. Each region, even though they are kind of different, but you need to go forward to moving in sync, like to the main goal, the main strategy that my company has. And for me, consistency is not only uniformity, it means clarity, adaptability, and shared goals. So managing all of this means being proactive and open to changes and being resilient because every day there is a new challenge. So it's how you approach life, in logistics, in supply chain, you cannot be close-minded. You need to be open-minded. You need to have a special taste on new challenges. If you have the personality that you don't like challenges or problems and you want something that is going to be the same day to day, this is not
Sector for you.
the correct career, I don't know, decision.
Mm, definitely. But I would love if you could explain it to our audience in detail. Why is it such an important trait to have, the adaptability for the sector, so that we can
Look,
prepare ourselves for the future, of course?
yes, look, adaptability is super important in this job. As I mentioned, managing 22 countries, every day you handle a new challenge, a new problem, and you need to have these special skills of adaptability to see how you fix the issues, solve the problems. It's like a day-to-day discovering the day to day that you have new ways of handling stuff. And something that is something important is to trust your teams. It's not a one person job, it's a team's work, it's a team's effort. And not only with my own team, but with other areas of the company. I think something that is important in this adaptability is how well you manage your relationship with other areas, with other operations, and how you handle the difference inside your team. I think that is the key, like how you handle relationships, how you handle communication. I guess you need to be really careful of being always respectful, handle your communication the best way. Obviously, there are, I don't know, some cultures that are more direct, like Caribbean.
Yeah,
Another was that you need to be more relationship
exactly.
focused on saying the right thing with the right words. And
Yeah.
even though we all speak, most of my team speak Spanish, some words mean different in each country. So if I say something, I need to be aware of
Sure.
the real meaning and the real message that I want to
Interpretation.
give.
Mhm. True.
Exactly.
Wow, that's actually such an important trait that you're dealing with. But I have a personal question. You're doing it an amazing job, but 22 countries dealing with different types of cultures, different people with different natures and reactions. Do you ever feel burned out by the amount of times you have to manage and adapt, as the word is, for these different aspects?
Not at all. Not at all. For example, my team is located in 3 countries. I have team members in Panama, Costa Rica, Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned before, the key is to build trust, clarity, a shared purpose as a team. Um, I'm working remote, so for me, the
Yeah.
main goal and my main objective is to always have open communication. That is the main key. Having constant communication, clear communication, obviously cultural awareness. Each country has their own way of
Yeah.
working. Also, continuous development with my team is invest time in understanding local strengths, the challenges. Um, as I mentioned, be cultural aware. Something that is also important, a concept that I don't know through the years has gained more weight in my life is mentorship. No
Wow.
mentorship inside my own team, like with
Yeah.
intentional guidance. Sometimes recognition can unlock potential from people. Like, be fair with the efforts that they do and recognize that. I think that's the key.
Definitely. And I think that you have mentioned it in our last meeting as well, where you said that how important mentorship and team development are. So, talking about that, how do you approach building such high performance logistic teams across geographies?
Look, mentorship is a key role, not
Mhm.
only in my team, as I mentioned, that we have open communication and everything. If not, I also invest my time in other initiatives. I think in our first call, I mentioned that I was part of the Trailblazers initiative that is handled by the Digital Supply Chain Institute.
Mhm.
Actually, this is the third year in a row that I'm a mentor with
Wow.
people from Panama, Guatemala, and the last one was for Hungary, Europe. So, you know, in this industry, in this supply chains, in this logistic that is mostly being male dominated, I think like us as women, we need to support each other. And that's why I invest the time in helping other girls that are developing their own careers and trying to help them with sometimes a piece of advice. I know I'm not that old, but in the 15 years of experience, you gain some
Definitely.
advices or you have some knowledge that you could share. And it's the same with my own team. Like we have open communication, and if I don't have that answer and someone else have it, I think it's important to share it and not being selfish, with your knowledge or experiences. Something that that I've learned from life is like to always be a good person, always share what you have, and maybe that piece of advice or experience that you don't think is that important for someone else could be like a, a huge piece of knowledge that could help their own career. That
Mhm.
could be inside my company, could be with these people that I was telling you about this initiative, but I guess it's always leading with the heart and
True.
without a selfish way of behaving.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think that the way you said it, it's so, so important because, like, having someone who is willing to help you out is such a important need, I would say, because there are times I think most of us do fail in asking for help because, yeah, you're not sure how willing the other person will be, one. And two, it's sometimes you're just like, I don't mind approaching for help, but what if the person is not comfortable? Something along those lines. So having people out there who are willing to provide that help without any hesitation is a very important gift, I would say. And I think I really, really commend you for that. It's a very big and amazing step you are taking for helping others out. And I hope that many people are actually getting that help from others as well where it's needed. Because I feel while navigating your careers, especially if you get that help, you can save yourself from a lot of issues like burnout and other sectors where you are just not able to understand what's exactly happening.
Exactly. And something to add is like in life, you need to be brave. Even if you are the first one approaching someone or you are the one starting the communication, you don't lose anything. So you need to be brave. Obviously, sometimes there are times in our life where we have doubts for sure.
Mhm.
But I guess the main key is to keep moving on, keep moving forward, continue with life.
Yeah, definitely. And that is indeed something I will remember. And I hope that I'm able to implement it beautifully in my life, just the way you have. And I feel that for sectors like ours, which is logistics, there are two aspects which are something which need to be addressed. One is that it's an underrated sector. The amount of opportunities that I am coming across right now, I didn't even know so many different types of roles even existed, shows that the abundance that the sector has to offer is crazy, but not everyone is aware of it. And the second is the whole male dominated aspect of it. So what has your experience been in the sector, and how do you think we can make a change?
Look, as you mentioned, it's a male-dominated sector, but I think that is changing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My experience has taught me that representation matters. I think you gain confidence when you see other women leading with authenticity, leading with impact. For sure, you have moments of doubts in life, But I also found that there are times that you have imposter syndrome. Even though you have all your capabilities, even though you have all the knowledge, sometimes there is that self-doubt that, am I able to do this? And as I mentioned, you need to be brave. Like in this work and any other work, you need to know your value. You need to speak up. You need to build networks and challenge you to uplift yourself. And I think something that you didn't have 15 years ago, 10 years ago, are the tools to have networking right now. Currently, you have more events, you have more conference, you have more places where you can connect with other people, even LinkedIn, or even the way we connect.
Yeah,
You and me, it was like 15 years ago, I wouldn't be imagining to connect with someone from India, me being from Peru, that now I live in USA. Like, it seems like a dream come true, but actually you need to take advantage of that. Like
definitely.
your initiative of having ladies leadership and logistics, that is something brave. Not everyone is doing that. I think I mentioned this in our first call when we were
Definitely.
knowing each other. That's important, like being brave, do what you want to do, and if it won't happen, it will happen in a second time, a third time, and if not, you will have your plan B, plan C. But that's life, like constant changes.
Definitely.
But I think the main key is like to take the opportunities. And currently, with this networking, with the program that I was mentioning about mentorship, you are giving more opportunities to women to keep developing, to keep growing. And you sharing this online,
Yeah.
maybe someone will see the video and will say, hey, I can do the same that she's doing, and you will inspire other people. I think that is
Yeah.
important, visibility for sure.
Definitely. And I hope that whatever you just said does come true, that at least someone can either start something like what I'm doing, or someone can actually look at the videos and be like, oh, yeah, now I understand the sector better. Oh, I can be like this specific person whose video I saw. You know how we don't even realize how you're making an impact somewhere. Like one specific line, suppose the line you said, that be brave, take the opportunity, might just click to someone and they might do something super great just based on that statement that you made. And I feel that is definitely true. Taking that step and networking indeed is very essential. I personally didn't know if this was going to work out. This was something that my mom told me. She was like, if no one, I will watch your videos, just do it. And that was the motivation. I was like, I'm sure I have one like, one view for sure. It's now going to be zero because I have my mom supporting me all the time. So that little push can make a lot of difference for sure.
Yes, you should be grateful, not that you have a man that push for you to be brave to do new stuff. And as you mentioned, you will start with one like, but who knows, in the future you will have 1,000 likes, 1,000,000 likes. That's how all the things start. Like you are a little bit afraid at the beginning, but then you move forward and then you realize that is something that you like and you keep doing it. And who knows, like as you mentioned, someone is looking this video and someone, I don't know, from Peru, from Panama, from wherever will say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. So that's what I
Definitely.
like the most.
Definitely. And I feel so. I've spoken to many guests whose first language is not even English, and they are still so motivated to inspire others. They would either come up with some suggestion, like, say they're from Spain, they would be like, I can record it in Spanish and then, send it to you. Then we could just have the translation version. Or they would be like, oh, let me try, I'll prepare for 1 week and then we could just do it. And the fact that they're eager and ready to put that extra step of effort to just ensure that the podcast goes right makes me feel so overwhelmed and happy that there are people out there who are so willing to help spread that wisdom, spread those experiences which might help other people. And
Exactly. And that's being brave. Like
true.
me, English is not my first language, it's the second one.
Exactly.
The first one is Spanish for sure. And there is always that self-doubt of what if I don't say it correctly, of my pronunciation is not the best
Mhm.
one. But you go for it. Like it doesn't matter. As long as the message is understood, that's the important thing.
Romina, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel by any way that English is not your first language. That's why I didn't even mention your name because I would have, but it didn't feel like it, that it wasn't. You are so fluent and confident. So kudos on that. It doesn't show at all.
Thank you so much. In my mind, I have like Peruvian English, but I don't know. At least people understand me, and that's the main goal, to communicate.
Definitely.
Whatever, like even if you are struggling, be brave and talk. Don't be shy.
Yes, exactly. If any word is just mixed up, it still is going to make a lot of sense. So that's the main idea. So me and my friends, so in India, there are like many local languages, and most of my friends and we don't share the same language. So we end up picking up on specific statements that we really enjoy, and then we just keep on using that, and it's fun. But at the same time, it communicates the effort of trying to learn something new just for your friend.
That's great.
Exactly. And I would love to ask this. What exactly are your thoughts on the growth that will be taking place in the sector of supply chain and logistics in the upcoming years? And how do you think that the younger generation like me should work on preparing for it?
Look, the upcoming things that are coming
Mhm.
actually to supply chain, for sure, there is the rise of nearshoring that we are doing at a pace, like not focusing everything on Asia, but staying on closer places like Brazil, Mexico, and something that everyone is talking about, something that you are looking in the news day to day is AI. I think AI is the future, is going to driven all the decision making, is going to reshape the way that we are working, is going to help us to have more speed, cost, environmental impact changes. So if you ask me what is coming, I would say AI. I would say to start preparing for that. I think the people that will gain in the sector is the ones that start preparing from right now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
today's AI, I don't know the next technology, I don't know the name, but things are coming. And if you see the news, like ChatGPT, the NVIDIA chips, like AMD, like everything is focused right now in technology, on
true.
AI. Like if you see the news, like it's all AI related. I guess
Definitely.
some people is afraid, obviously, when you have new technologies or new things that are developing, there is always that you are afraid of how it's going to impact me. But same, you need to be brave, like to prepare yourself in advance, be proactive on that. And something that I would recommend for the new generation is to lose that way of thinking that what if something goes wrong, and shift that thinking, what if something goes right? You know,
Yeah,
like
uh-huh.
shift your energy and invest like your thoughts on what if it goes well.
Exactly. Definitely.
Exactly.
And I feel that little optimism can go a very long way in helping us stay, firstly, maintain our mental health, not destroy it. It can help us with making a lot of progress as well. Because if you think positively, better ideas will come to you rather than all the negative thoughts that might be flooding. And I
Exactly.
feel that our generation, especially the good side of it is we talk a lot about mental health. So ensuring that optimism and a little bit of reality check, both of them are maintained at a good level for us to balance it out.
About mental health, that's important. Sometimes we focus on knowledge, sometimes we focus in our own body, like doing exercise, like eating the right food. Like you take care of your body itself, the physically, but it's also important to take care of the mental side. Sometimes people is shy or they don't want to take the next step. Like if you need a mental coach, let's go for it. There is nothing wrong with that. And as you mentioned, this new generation, sometimes they are full of anxiety or depression or whatever. Like they had to live, I don't know, the COVID situation, war situation. So even if you see the news, sometimes there are not that optimistic news, but even though you need to keep move forward, like not be 100% optimistic, you should be able to feel your own feelings. But to be brave. That's what I mentioned. To be
Definitely.
brave in life, even with your mental health, if you need it, take that step. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like there are new concepts of like mindfulness, there are new concepts like acceptance, things that will help you with your day-to-day life, not only with the work.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think the latest thing that I've come across is some of my really amazing leaders that I look up to are have been starting to post about taking breaks, like internet breaks. They were like, we went out on a family vacation for like 4 to 5 days without any phone, without internet in general. And they were like, it was the best experience ever. And I think that's so important to talk about that we took that 5 days of work and we had the best time because I think over the years the idea of being worked out like having overworked is extremely fantasized for some reason like it people have started to show that hey look me working 16 hours is like the best thing in the world. I work very hard, but we tend to forget that your body needs to be able to adapt to that level as well, and it it is essential.
And something that I tell the people of my team is like, first we are daughters, first we are sisters, first we are wives or mothers, I don't know, whatever you are living in your life, like before being a worker, because sometimes it could hurt your health, like focusing 100% work, and that is not life. You only live one life, and you need to live it the best way possible. And that's what I say to my team. Like, first, you are a daughter. If you have an appointment with your mother, with your son, with your daughter, it's like, go for it.
Definitely. And I think that slowly the whole thing is reversing back. Like people, as I said, they have low-key focus a lot on the whole idea of overdoing things. And now they're coming back to the idea of taking breaks and normalizing not working a lot. Like work, I just spoke to one of the other guests today and she said this beautiful thing that work is just a part. So I was talking about my career and how I'm a little worried about how things are going to go further. But she's like, Ayushi, calm down. It's just a part of your life. It's not your life. Breathe. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, yeah, she's right. Why am I so worked about it?
Exactly. Work is just a part of life. And obviously, when you are working, you need to give your 100% effort so you are successful. It's like when you are working,
Definitely.
do your best. And when you are not working, do your best to be the best person that you can be.
True. Definitely. And I hope that I am able to implement all the beautiful lessons that you provided me today, and each and every person learns from the amazing ideas that you just exposed to us today. I hope we are able to be brave the way you are and make a particular mark, leave a particular mark in the sector the way you are doing it.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for starting this initiative. As I mentioned, the first time that we talk, I think it's been like a month or 1 month and a half. It's
Mhm.
like maybe someone will see your video and they will have the courage to do it by themselves. Maybe who knows? We will have like ladies leadership and logistics from Latin. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd be so happy if someone just expands it by that way without like, I'll be like, oh my God, this is happening. I hope. So we say it, तुम्हारे मुंह में घी शक्कर in Hindi, which means sweets in your mouth. I hope whatever you say comes true because you said something so beautiful. So that, thank you so much for your kind words and thank you for joining me today and giving me the chance to learn from you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Actually, I'm kind of shy, even though it doesn't notice, but
Huh.
that's what I say. Be brave.
Yeah,
I was like, I was thinking, do I do the
be
interview or not?
brave.
Then I was busy with work. Then I traveled that I told you about it. But this is like, like I don't lose anything doing this. And if someone else see it, they say, I'm shy to do the interview with her. Go for
Yeah,
it. You won't lose anything. And if you don't even speak English, that's okay. Like you mentioned, someone is like doing it in Spanish and then you
exactly.
do the caption and translate it in
Yeah,
English. Whatever. That is life. Like my main
true,
advice would be to live the best way you can live it.
uh-huh,
Obviously being a good person, always
true.
trying to help other people. If you live that way, I can bet you will have a good life.
Thank you, Romina. I hope each and every person is able to implement the beautiful life lesson that you just gave us. and we are able to not lose ourselves in the whole process of making it in the world.
Thank you so much, Shafa, and have a great day. For
Have a
sure,
great
we'll be
day.
in communication and wishing you the best. Thank you so
Same to
much.
you, Romina. Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.